What is up, y'all? It's your boy Ultimate Cowboy here to talk about a Longhorns victory. We did not have an opening day under. We've had some of those before, I guess Maryland and things like that. So, um, especially with a new coach coming in, Coach Sarkeesian, you want to have get up on get off on the right foot early, I guess. Um, so I'm not, y'all. I ain't gonna say the B word, all right? Y'all know what the B word is. Back. They said it a couple of times in the broadcast. We've heard it before. Uh, when we beat Notre Dame and stuff like that. I'm not. It was good to see, and Louisiana is not Scrubs by any means. They're a good team, but we got to keep it rolling. We got Arkansas next. Um, that was nice, man. Can I just say before we really talk about the game? Uh, I Texas got some players that's got some of the best names, y'all. I mean, we got Overshown, we got Xavier Worthy. Last year, Brendan Eagles. Even going back a couple of years ago, Lil Jordan Humphrey. That's his actual name, Lil Jordan. The Lil wasn't added. Tyrone Swoops. Don't say nothing about their talent, but uh, Texas always seems to have guys with some of the best, coolest names. Um, anyway, moving on to the game. Bijan Robinson, guys, is a woo man. My heart stopped for a good 5 minutes when he went down, and he was only down for like maybe a minute before he got back up and walked out the field under his own power. And even then, that doesn't necessarily always mean anything because we've seen guys get up before, in college and even in the NFL and even down to high school. They'll get up and they'll walk off under their own power, but then, they'll miss like 6 weeks or whatever. So the way he went down, it was clearly a leg or a knee. So, to see him get up and walk off under his own power was encouraging. But I felt I still was kind of holding my breath a little bit until I seen him come back into the game. Man, 176 yards from scrimmage, 103 rushing, and then another 73 through the air. He got that 73 through the air on 2 catches, 2 catches, 18 yards a catch he averaged. Hudson Card, I won't say this for Hudson Card. I was an advocate for Casey Thompson starting. I felt like Casey Thompson gave us a little bit more experience and stuff like that. So I wasn't necessarily on board with Hudson when Hudson Card was named the starter, and it wasn't a thing like. Because at the end of the day, you want to trust the coach, right? You brought him here, to bring you back into that next echelon, so to speak. So you don't want to immediately start off, with like, what the fuck are you doing? Or, he, as an offensive coordinator, he averaged like 48 points, I think it was last year with Alabama. And so we all pretty much knew and wanted our offense was going to be, just ticking and clicking and firing on all cylinders. The defense is kind of what impressed me. More so than the offense. They're kind of in the same situation as the Cowboys offense. People who know who Sark is, we knew the second he got here that our offense was more than likely going to be fine. The defense really stepped up in the first quarter. We had some stuff. They were kind of running it down us a little bit, tightened up, and then we pretty much had them. The second quarter on through the third quarter, we had them locked down tight, man. And then in that fourth quarter, they're trying to come back. Garbage time. Game's already over. I want to point out something really quick, and this goes to what people are saying about like changing the culture. You'll hear that a lot, not only in college football and the NFL, not only with football or sports at all. It could be at a workplace, or it could be, in a family environment, in a marriage, it in a church. But changing the culture, changing the way that things are done, and changing the way that you're viewed from the inside and then by the outside. Um, and what I mean is this: it was 21-6. Um, they got Louisiana got a touchdown, and so that made it 21-12. And we blocked that extra point. Now I know what people's gonna say. It's just an extra point. It don't really matter. It's only 1 point. We won 38-18 anyways. Stuff like that. But if you go all the way back, this game was not as separated at that point as it was at the end of it. If they make that extra point, it's 21-13. You put them at 13. That's an 8-point game. That's a one-score game. They could tie it up on one drive. And so the fact that we knew that situation, you're kind of seeing them kind of maybe turning the momentum just a little bit, and to go out there and block that extra point to keep it a 2-score game. And to be honest with you, I think that might be why they kicked that onside. I think that might be why they kicked it. Because they kicked the onside kick, the surprise onside kick right after that. And the second one we kind of knew was coming. We expected it. The first one was a complete surprise. They're trying to catch us off guard, but we ended up recovering it. But Elliot Gonzalez says, good win. I like our QB. Me too, man. Me too. Like I said, I was a Casey Thompson fan. Especially seeing what he did in the Alamo Bowl, coming in for Ellinger and everything in the second half. But man, Hudson, anybody that was questioning it before, including myself, you can't really question it now. And it wasn't a thing that I just don't like Hudson Card. We really don't and I'm going to say this phrase, and I'm not, it's just a phrase. I'm not trying to say that Casey Thompson's a bad player. Like I said, I was an advocate for him starting, but it's, there's the old saying, it's better to go with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. We knew what we had in Casey Thompson. Hudson Card, we're kind of just going by, unless you're seeing the practices and stuff like that, we're kind of just going by what the coaches and everybody is telling us about what's happening. This is a guy that before he got to Texas, he threw one career pass before this year, and now he's a starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. At Lake Travis, he was a wide receiver. So to have a guy like that through one career pass before this year, and to have Coach Sark, arguably one of the top names in the game, and to have him look at this guy that's thrown one career pass before this year in a game and say, man, I trust you. I like you. I'm going to put you on the field over the guy that we've already seen, that we already know what he is. We've already seen him, in game reps and game action, stuff like that. I'm going with you. You've thrown one career pass in the game, but I'm going with you. For one of the top guys in the game today to look at him and say that says a lot about this kid and kind of where he's at. And they were talking about it a little bit on the post game on the Longhorn Network. I think that a couple of his best plays were throwaways. What do people always talk about when they talk about, young quarterbacks, freshmen, or even rookies or second-year guys in the NFL? One of their number one problems is trying to make something happen. When you go to the next echelon from high school to college, or from college to the NFL, or whenever you jump to that next tier, a lot of guys make the mistake of trying to play the same way that they did then and make the same plays that they did then. Like we've seen quarterbacks all the time in college, they'll run around in the backfield and dancing and bouncing and stuff like that. twisting, humping, pumping, and jumping. As Nate Newton said on Hanging with the Boys. Uh, Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys media team. Love what y'all are doing over there with all those podcasts and stuff. But and then they go to the NFL, and that doesn't really necessarily translate because the defenses are better. And it's the same type of thing. A lot of quarterbacks that are freshmen in college, they're going to try to play, at least at first, the same type of way that they played in high school and do the same type of stuff. And it doesn't really register to them. And, maybe even you see it happening with other guys. You see them kind of having to go through that transition and learn things the hard way. But then we're all hard headed, right? And we all say like, well, I'm different. I'm better than those guys. It ain't gonna happen to me like it happens to them. I can do it. I'm good enough to do it, right? We've seen that, and that's the reason why no matter how many times it happens, it keeps happening because everybody that comes in, they got that mentality. Well, I'm different. I'm better. They couldn't do it, but I can do it. And so for him to have that awareness, and Sark's already put the anointing on you, right? Like you're the guy, you're the starter. Unless you fuck up or something happens like that, or you get hurt or something, you're gonna be the guy. And Casey Thompson got some time today, but believed in me. So out of my way and do anything that's like super flashy. I don't need to bounce around and run around and all that stuff. I could just go out there and I could play football. And so a couple of his best plays was just throwing the ball away, just knowing, I don't got to try to roll out. I don't got to try to spin out of this. I don't got to try to, avoid the sack and, go look like Bijan Robinson back there in the backfield. And so that was good. Our defense was good. Just all in all, a solid game. And I don't want people to gloss over the fact, it was Louisiana. I understand it was Louisiana. People talking like, this was like, I don't know, like Southern Utah or Tulane. Even Tulane gave OU a run for their money today. They only lost 35-40. But Louisiana's a good team. They weren't ranked number 23 for no reason. Napier's a good coach. Levi Lewis is a good quarterback. We had him rattled most of the day, pretty much from the first quarter on. And like I said, they started kind of getting it in the fourth quarter, but at that point, we're just trying to play back. Not so much trying to keep you from scoring, but it's more of a thing like, okay, if you score, we're going to make you take 4 minutes to do it and not 15 seconds. We're going to make sure that you don't have enough time to try to string together some kind of a comeback on the back end of that. So we 38-18, we could have probably got 50. We could have probably got 60. If we really, really wanted to, or if we was in a position where we needed to. I know Coach Sark said no, all gas, no brakes. But the bottom line is there was no reason to, keep going full throttle. You don't want to have guys get hurt and stuff like that. And the game was already well in the hand. You don't want to risk, turning the ball over or, anything like that. So, but if we really wanted to, we could have got at least 50, if not 55, 60. So, the offense, exactly what I wanted to see, exactly what I hope to see. Yeah, so to me, it's good to be here talking about a win. I don't see, when Tom Herman came here and when Charlie Strong came here, there was always this debate and sort of like infighting, between fans. He's the right man for the job, or he's not the right man for the job, or he only coached at Houston, or whatever the thing was that people was arguing about. But there was always arguing about, did we pick the right guy? I haven't seen any of that with Coach Sark. This fan base seems to be 100% unified behind him and this decision to bring him here. I don't see anybody inside the Longhorn Nation. I see a couple of haters outside of it, but I don't see anybody inside the Burnt Orange Nation, trying to downplay this, or, that Coach Sark isn't just as good of a personality as what we wanted and as what we thought that we were getting when we hired him and when we brought him in here. He said it himself. We brought him here to win championships. and he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he feels like some people are saying, when you were good at Alabama, you were under Coach Saban, but can you really do it by yourself? Can not by yourself, but can you really do it when the buck stops with you, um, so to speak? And I don't know, man. Obviously, it's just good. I'm just glad that Bijan Robinson is okay, man. That looked nasty. Even when before he didn't get up, like when I saw him go down live, and I saw the way that his legs went like that when he was sliding down, I was like, man, that didn't look good. Fuck, that didn't look good, man. And so for him to be able to get up and walk off the field under his own power, and then come back in a little bit later and continue to play, continue to run the ball and stuff like that. Uh, Definitely good to see because that looked nasty, and the way that looked, it could have been a lot worse than what it ended up being. So thank God, Bijan Robinson is okay because you lose a guy like that in your first game. I know people talk about Coach Sark, people talk about Hudson Card and our defense and all this type of stuff, but make no mistake about it. Wherever we go this year, Bijan Robinson is taking Bijan Robinson to wherever the hell we go. Great. Very, very impressed with him. He threw for 200. He could have thrown for 350 if we didn't run the ball with Bijan so much, and if he actually played in the fourth quarter, because he didn't even play in the fourth quarter. That was Casey Thompson. So if we would have lost Bijan Robinson, man, in the first game of the season, that would have been bad. That would have been. I mean, you talk about the sky falling, and I'm always a guy that comes on here and tells people to calm down. The sky's not falling. If Bijan didn't get up and come back in the game, man, the sky would have been falling. I promise you that. Anyway, be sure to comment, like, subscribe for Longhorns and Cowboys content. I also do NASCAR and hockey and some other stuff, baseball. I got some Ranger stuff back there on the back wall. You can't see them, but I'm just a Dallas kid that loves sports. I root for Dallas outside of NASCAR, the Vegas boy. But anyways, that's all I got, man. I'm gonna get out of here. This has been your boy, Ultimate Cowboy, with a Texas Longhorns video, a Texas Longhorns victory video. Hook 'em horns, as always, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.